It's Friday, it's another free device from Isotonic Studios. Today I'm looking at WAVEFuze by Avel. This is free to all members of the Isotonic Friday Sub Club, link in the description. In today's video I'm going to test WAVEFuze on some basic source audio, some drums and a sine wave, and then I'm going to try something a bit more ambitious and do some generative based sound design with it. WAVEFuze is essentially a distortion unit. It's a max for live audio effect with basic controls. Let's jump in, let's hear it on some drums. So I've got WAVEFuze loaded on this 808 core kit with quite a basic pattern. It's got this nice intuitive interface. We have a sine wave and this kind of tracker control running across. An auto gain button, which I have on at the moment, and a dry wet control. So essentially, like, the main control is this sine wave, which you can kind of fold back in on itself. A bit like the wave shaping feature in Live Saturator. Nice. Dry wet. Blend it back in. Cool. Alright, I'll give it a test on a sine wave. This is a low F. You will need headphones to hear that. Let's start to change the shape of the wave. Keep going. Nice, let's blend it back in. That's cool. Okay, let's see if we can start to use some additional devices, and I'm also going to be using the expression control. Thank you, Ned Rush, for showing everyone how to do that. It's so useful for this type of thing. I've been really into making bass sounds lately, and I'm always interested in ways that I can generate the process, how I could just set record and kind of come up with all these different bass patches that I can then resample, and that's what I'm going to attempt to demo today. I have got a copy of the version I made when I was rehearsing. If it all goes wrong and I can't really get on the mark again, then I've got this to demo to you. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to use some things like the envelope shaper and maybe the LFO device and certainly the expression control. In fact, I'm going to pull that in now. I've got one that I've made that's just has all of the MIDI in set to random. So I'll just close that for now. I'm going to pull in an envelope follower. So this you can map, well, to any button or to any knob in Live. I'm going to map this to the wave itself, and I'm going to use the gain of the operator somehow to feed into this, and it's going to kind of pull the wave shape up. So if I demo it now with see if it does anything with this F. Okay, you can see it's changing. So if I start to modulate let's change this destination to volume. Let's turn all these off. Okay, so it's quite subtle at the moment. Let's sync it, see if we can get more of an effect. Okay, so it's pretty quiet at the moment, isn't it? Probably because I'm modulating the volume. So that's the kind of concept. Okay, it's a bit crazy, isn't it, really? Okay, so maybe we don't want to do that. Let's work with the filter, shall we? And why don't we start to bring in another... Okay, now we're starting to get something a bit more potentially usable. Just keep going. I'm going to change this up. Turn this off. All right, that's good. I'm going to use the pitch envelope as well, but I'm going to turn this off of the destinations and just use it on the LFO. And I've been really getting into, let's drop the sustain down to -24 and pull the decay out. And then if we set loop on, this envelope is always going to act like an LFO, and then we can use the control here, the amount control, the percentage, either up or down, to where you're gonna hear it modulating the rate of the LFO, so you're gonna get some kind of weird rhythmic effects happening, things like that. Let's pull this out a bit, shall we? Maybe if we boost the amount a little bit more. Okay. So you can hear it doing its thing. Let's set it to volume 2. Okay, so I'm going to introduce like a bit of envelope on the filter as well. Why don't we set this to like 80? I'm going to pull the sustain up and the attack out to like 600 or something, 600 milliseconds. Let's go 650, yeah? Okay, all right, that's too much, so let's just... Okay. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Now, a lot of this is trial and error, and you're going to be tweaking controls very slightly. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to use the expression control, and I'm going to map some stuff here. So I don't want this gain going as much as that. I probably want this like 45, maybe 60. And then for every note it receives, it's going to change the gain slightly. And this is going to affect how much this is, the envelope is following, how much of an effect it's having on changing this distortion. I think as well I'm going to just map the volume in this second, in the pitch envelope. Nice. Okay, now we're starting to get on the money a bit more. Okay, maybe we want to pull this up a bit. Alright, okay. I am going to add a bit of reverb. I have the Paralox Reverb Digital. Now, this was another free device back last year when it was the 12 weeks Christmas giveaway. So let's, and this is by Perform module, let's add some reverb and just hear what's going on here. So I'll tell you what I might do. I'm just going to put an EQ here. Get rid of like the low. Okay, cool. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So I'm going to map the oscillator, the wave, in the second operator, in operator B, and I'm just going to leave the controls as they were. I'm also going to map the time. This is really cool. This kind of slows down all of the envelopes and all of the rates. I think it must be kind of like accumulatively, or it slows them all down by the same amount. Kind of it extends them all out, or shortens them. And I might use the rise and fall controls here, like 250, 500. Nice. All right, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with some more envelope control action. Let's get rid of this, and put an envelope follower in here, and I'm going to use a erosion device, and I'm going to map this to the amount and change it to white noise. Alright, we could do the same with the gain here, can we? You can map this, and again maybe have it okay, that's too much. We probably want this something like 60, and we'll have the full amount of off. Now, of course, because it's scanning through these waves, they're not always going to work perfectly together. And let's do the pitch control as well. We want to have that going. Yes. And we could also, let's map the LFO amount, and let's use the rise and fall again on this, and just do, I don't know, 200, 600. Sick. Okay, let's pull this down to like maybe 70. Interesting. Not going to lie, some of these are going to be unusable, but that's the whole point of doing stuff like this, is that we're just going to cherry pick the best ones and resample them and use them again. So and we could, let's go crazy and bring in another expression control. Let's map the random to frequency, and I'm not going to want this to be going all over the place, but I am going to be wanting it to, I mean, we could even use an LFO device for this, but we're using expression controls. God bless Ned Rush for sharing this information with everyone. Okay, so we're about 700, that's great. Just looking at the 700 hertz on the frequency knob. Let's pull this down to like here, maybe. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right, cool, that's pretty good. So I am gonna, let's call this bass. And now I'm gonna use follow actions for scenes, and we are going to record a load of clips and generate some audio, record some audio. So let's put in an audio channel. I'm going to call this bass tones, and I'm going to set this to just resampling because it's going to catch the reverb as well too. You know, if we wanted to, we could go, you know, the sky's the limit with this kind of thing. You could keep adding these expression controls and mapping them to all sorts of things, and just generating kind of endless fun tones, just having fun with it, really. I think that's the main thing. So I'm going to arm this to record, and I'm going to pull this down here, And let's do like, how many should we do? 5, 6, 7. Let's do 8. That's a nice number, isn't it? I'm going to highlight. I think we need to go over to the master and come into the instrument view on the master channel. Select them all. We've got them all selected. Follow actions. Next. And on this one we want stop. These are all things pilfered from Ned Rush's channel, but really it's to demonstrate what's possible with this kind of nice, simple, very aesthetically pleasingly laid out Max for Live device from Avel. The one thing you need to make sure you have turned on in your preferences is that you have start recording on scene launch on, and that's in record, warp and launch in the preferences, because otherwise it won't record the arm track. So if I just press play now, it's going to cycle through these and generate a load of tones. Okay, that's going a bit too fast, so did something wrong there. Let's go back. I have these, they are 4 bars long, so that's what I did wrong here. Go back to the master instrument view, action time 4. Okay, let's try again. That's good as well. Yes. Okay, third time lucky, eh? Let's see what's happening. If you don't select them all when you're in the master clip, the master channel, like that, then it will only do it for the first one, even if you've selected them all before you select this. Try again. There we go. Nice. No. Nice. Okay, there's a few usable ones in there. I don't think they all are. Some of them are a bit hectic, aren't they? What's this one like? That's... None of these, but then you could have fun with these. Turn warp off, like pitch it up loads. You might get a nice effect. Something like that. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Or slow it right down, pitch it right down. Nice little effect. I mean, really, it's kind of like generating audio, isn't it? And you can pitch it around and do whatever you want with it. Let's find one to chuck in a sampler. Okay, that boy could be good, couldn't he? So let's go new MIDI channel. I'm just going to chuck this in. And I'm going to right click and switch to sampler. And see what we can get out of this. Got my keyboard here. One thing we're going to need to do is just set the root to F, because they were all F notes, and this will ensure that your tones are in key. I'm also going to normalize the volume. So I think we were here originally. Okay, maybe get some like wobs or something happening with the sustain mode. Crossfade, bring that up a bit. Yeah. So it's really good for kind of generating interesting bass tones by recording a load of these and resampling them. All right, should we try another one? That was cool. Just load up a new MIDI channel, drag it on, right click, sampler. Let's normalize the volume. And we just need to make sure that we've got the root as F2. I think it's actually F1, but as long as the pitch is right, doesn't matter the register. Nice. I mean, that's cool in its own right, isn't it? Really, you know, you get nice. You can add more reverb to that. Let's try and do something in the sustain mode. And you can even just like change the start point, turn off snap. Maybe bring in a bit of crossfade. Yeah, maybe slow it down a bit. Cool, and this is one that I made from the earlier session. All just generated in the same way. Yeah. And because you've recorded everything, you've resampled it, you get these cool effects where you're pitching it up so it's changing the speed of the modulation that's been recorded. Alright, that's pretty cool. I think that's going to do it for today, folks. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Most of my channel's output is live streaming sessions like this. We can ask questions, and see me making music in real time, so do come and say hi. I also have a Patreon where I often post kind of the patches that I've made in sessions like this, along with loads of breaks content, loads of chop breaks in Ableton and patches. I also have some exciting news that there is an Isotonic Studios affiliate scheme of which I am now a member. I've put links to some of my favourite packs in the description, including the excellent Tearing Breaks by DJ Crystal. Now, if you go and buy anything that I've posted a product link for, then I get a small kickback. Helps me, helps the channel. Do consider having a look at some of those. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.